Hello, Algebra 1 students. Today we're going to start Section 4.1. Unit 4 is Linear Function Applications. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to write a linear equation in all three forms, in slope-intercept, point-slope, and in standard form if we're given a graph. So here's our graph. The first thing I want to do is identify some important points that we've talked about. So slope, y-intercept, and the 0 or x-intercept. Okay? So what is our slope? Let's look at this. To go from this point to this point, I go down 1, 2, change in y, and I went over to the right 1, so I've got change in y over change in x, which is -2. My y-intercept is where x equals 0, or where it crosses the y-axis, which is right here. That point is, oops, got my x's and y's backwards. This point is 0, 2. So your y-intercept is 2. And your 0, or your x-intercept, is where the line crosses the x-axis, which is at 1, 0. So if they ask for your 0 is at 1. Okay. So your slope-intercept form of a line is y equals mx plus b. And I think y'all are pretty familiar with that. We did work with that in the previous chapter, so you should know what's going on. So what I need to do is I need to know what slope and y-intercept are. Well, here we go. I've already got that, so I just simply plug it in. Y equals -2x plus 2. That is the slope-intercept form of this line. Pretty easy, right? Point-slope form is, let's see, lost my notes here. Point-slope form is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Okay, remember when we talked about this before that this y and this x you are going to leave alone. And the y1 and x1 come from any point on our graph. Any point. It doesn't matter. So I'm going to choose my x-intercept as my point. So y stays y. I'm going to subtract what y is here, which is 0. Set that equal to, need slope, which is -2. This x stays x. x1 would be the x here, so I'm going to say x minus 1. Okay? And then, so y minus 0 is y. Actually, I'm going to leave that just like it is, right there. That is the point-slope form. Okay? Now, standard form is kind of a little bit of a tricky animal. You have ax plus by equals c. And there's a trick to this. There's some rules here. A, b, and c are real numbers. A and b must not be 0. They're not both 0, otherwise you wouldn't have an equation. Alright, so let's take a look. My advice to finding standard form, given all this information, is to take your point-slope form. Y minus 0 equals -2 times x minus 1. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead. Y minus 0 is y. And that should be equal to -2x plus 2. Okay. I need it to fit like this. I need x out front on the same side as y. So I simply add 2x. And I'm left with 2x plus y equals 2. This is the standard form of this line. Okay? Now, one more thing, and then I'll be done for this one. We've got 2x plus y equals 2. This is standard form. Now, I know it seems silly to go back and forth between forms, but this is something that we've got to be able to do in order to work some of the problems we need to work. Okay, so what I need to do to get, what if I wanted you to go to slope-intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b. Well, all I need to do is get y by itself. So if I'm solving for y, I'm going to resubtract that 2x, and I get y equals negative 2x plus 2. And I want to add one more quick little note. If you're looking for y-intercept, slope-intercept should be your best form, right? If you're looking for slope, either point slope or slope-intercept form will get that to you pretty quickly. If you're looking for anything else, it's kind of all of them. But these two, we'll find these two things very quickly. Okay? That should be all that we need today. We will practice in class a little bit and talk about the flipped classroom. I will see y'all later.